Yamask, a cute little ghost Pokemon with a killer evolution. Cofagrigus. Well, okay, it has two. Kind of. Let me explain. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare because this is the Curse of Cofagrigus. So to start things off, Yamask first appeared in Generation 5, and on the surface it seems like an innocent little Pokemon. Although, the weirdest things about it were the two Pokédex entries which state, each of them carries a mask that used to be its face when it was a human. Sometimes they look at it and cry. These Pokemon arose from the spirits of people interred in graves and past ages. Each retains memories of its former life. Of course, this is another Pokédex entry that sounds too weird to possibly be true, and could be the result of legends and tall tales and rumors passed down through the centuries. This is a common problem plaguing ghost Pokemon when it comes to lore, but nonetheless it solidifies Yamask's status as a kind of spirit. When it evolves into Cofagrigus, it kind of loses this connection to once being a human, with its Pokédex entry now reading, "It has been said that they swallow those who get too close and turn them into mummies. They like to eat gold nuggets." And this, at the very least, we can verify in the canon of the anime where we see this actually happen, or at least an attempt. Something as simple as attacking grave robbers seems plausible for these Pokemon, and trapping them forever is just second nature for some ghost types.
How are you here without any preparations?
In their first video game appearance, Cofagrigus hang out in the Relic Castle, being the only random encounters along with their previous form, Yamask. But the real question becomes, how exactly did they get here? The obvious connection would be that they're based off of sarcophaguses, which are what ancient Egyptians would use to lay their royalty to rest, in tombs surrounded by their belongings. But in this case, Cofagrigus are sentient Pokemon. So would that mean that these Pokemon really did come from humans? Was there something actually inside them?
Show me the mummy!
While it's something Pokemon fans have wanted to see for years, we really don't get it aside from Dusclops being a mummy and Cofagrigus being a sarcophagus. No relation between the two. Although Dusclops is a terrifying and scary Pokemon all to its own, trying to suck up literally anything it can get. But with Pokemon Sword and Shield, there are some new Pokédex entries for our fine Pharaoh friend. This Pokemon has a body of sparkling gold. People say it no longer remembers that it was once human. There are many depictions of Cofagrigus decorating ancient tombs. They're symbols of the wealth that kings of bygone eras had. So immediately, each version of the games appears to give us some conflicting information. The first continues to feed into the theory that Cofagrigus used to be human. Sure, it prefaces the statement by emphasizing it's just something said by people, but that isn't helping when Yamask already suggested the idea. The second entry seems more solid, as ancient depictions of Cofagrigus are something that can actually be recorded and studied as evidence. If this Pokemon's image was used to decorate ancient tombs, it probably means it was around during the time of the ancient kings who saw them as symbols of wealth. Perhaps owning a Cofagrigus itself was the status ancient kings sought after, as their bodies are made of gold. Maybe even Yamask, being a simple spirit, began evolving into a gold-adorned box when owned by somebody wealthy, emphasizing their wealthy status. Yeah man, I'm so rich, I got like 6 gold sarcophaguses and they all move. That's not even mentioning the one that I'll be sleeping in. It would explain why they appear in the Relic Castle. If the ancient kings who owned Cofagrigus were inspired by real-life Egyptian pharaohs, wouldn't they want to be laid to rest with their belongings and Pokemon made of gold? It would explain why Cofagrigus are so quick to attack any grave robbers. They're just looking out for their trainers, making sure no one steals their treasures. These are just loyal Pokemon. Or it could even be part of an ancient curse, tying in the Cofagrigus as a defense mechanism along with their ability, Mummy, which is so annoying but insanely useful in battle, spreading from Pokemon to Pokemon through contact. But at the end of the day, they're still protecting something, so it's surprisingly a wholesome end to the Cofagrigus question. Granted, that is what's going on, and there aren't actually human remains inside. But Yamask itself is still a little puzzling. At the very least, it's some kind of spirit, as we see with its Galarian form, this time holding a piece of clay instead of a mask. But somehow the story of Galarian Yamask is even more terrifying than its Unovan counterpart. The Pokédex tells us, a clay slab with cursed engravings took possession of a Yamask. The slab is said to be absorbing the Yamask's dark power. So Yamask, being a weak little spirit, is now being taken advantage of by some other spirit, the one that was seemingly sealed inside of a larger stone slab. With its odd evolution method, things actually make sense. To evolve Galarian Yamask, you need to reduce its HP by 49 points, and then bring it to a certain spot in the wild area. Why exactly this happens, I think, is because once Yamask is weakened enough by having less HP, the spirit that's taking control of Yamask can now completely overtake it, using the rocks and dirt in the wild area to reform itself, creating a Runerigus. And Runerigus is the spirit sealed inside the runes, using the remnants of Yamask's body to reanimate itself. As we see in the Pokédex, a powerful curse was woven into an ancient painting. After absorbing the spirit of a Yamask, the spirit began to move. And that's why this is a split evolution rather than being a straight up Galarian form of Cofagrigus. The stone has completely taken over Yamask and is now its own Pokemon. And because this is the new theme of this evolution line, there's no mention of anything human, but instead a new mysterious spirit. Though it is interesting that a connection to memories still exists, as the other Pokédex entry tells us. Never touch its shadow-like body, or you'll be shown the horrific memories behind the picture carved into it. Yet another ghost Pokemon that causes unpleasantness when it's touched, but the big question of where the picture came from still stands. While there are some real-life inspirations behind the design of the runes, I think Runerigus has a unique and more nefarious origin, as it's outright stated to be a curse. I don't think whoever made these paintings was from the same time or even place as the ancient kings related to Cofagrigus, so it was likely some old Galarian wizard. It could still have been meant as a defense mechanism, as the piece Galarian Yamask holds is just a single piece. There were likely old structures that were torn down or interfered with when modern Galar was being built, and the curse woven into the pieces of the structure took control of Yamask, it being a weak little ghost Pokemon, until the curse takes on a life of its own after absorbing all of Yamask's energy to become a Runerigus. Tragic. Truly tragic. Both of these Pokemon are very interesting, with mysterious pasts and unconventional makeup. Everything about them is so vague that it makes you realize just how much we still don't know about the world of Pokemon, from eras long ago and civilizations since past. And so we can only try our best when it comes to piecing together the legend of these ghost types. Or maybe all the misinformation is just another part of the Curse of Cofagrigus. Well, wasn't that quite the scary story? But anyway, hey, this is GatorX, and let me know what you think in the comments below about this Halloween video. We'll be continuing the theme throughout the entire month. If you enjoyed this one, you can leave a like and subscribe to show your support. You can also enable notifications to make sure you see each new video as it comes out. But anyway, this has been GatorX. Have a scary day.